speaking of offseason moves here, every offseason we see veteran AHL player movement, and a lot of times that feels really random. One of the ones that's pretty common is we see guys taking a Euro trip. When players in general leave the AHL to go to Europe, is there a conversation with you about it, or do guys just kind of sign somewhere like Liga and then you find out on Twitter like the rest of us? Or is there a little more?
During this, towards the last part of the regular season, you start hearing guys are being approached, and what happens? I'll get a call from somebody from Europe. I know agents in Europe, and they'll call me. They're going, "Hey, tell me about this guy." And I go, "Well, I guess he's looking over in Europe." Or, agents will say, "Do you think he's going to be coming back with you because he has a deal pending over there?" Some guys are already signed before our regular season's even over. Most of the time when guys go back to Europe, unless they're going back to be in their hometown type thing, if they're European themselves, but most go over there for the money, and that's basically what it is. And I don't blame them if they've put the dream of the NHL, in their back pocket and went and go over there. It's more for the money, and I don't blame them. Like if you only have a certain amount of time, and if you don't feel like you're making the amount of money you deserve in North America, then I don't blame them for going over to Europe and looking after themselves, looking after their family, and that's what happens sometimes. And but we see it. If they're not getting the money they think they deserve here, and or some of them are getting older and they play less games in Europe. They have like a 40-something games a year, and maybe it's an educational thing where they can, be in Switzerland and go around to a bunch of countries in the off days and whatnot. There's a lot of factors why guys go over there. Most of the time, you got an idea the guys are going because you hear it's hockey world's not that big, it seems big, but it's not. And you hear a lot of rumors, and a lot of guys will tell you, I'm going to end up signing over here or there, or they'll ask for advice. Like, should I stay or should I go? And, you try to be as honest as you can with them. And, the first thing I would say, if you kind of lost the dream of playing in the NHL, and if they say, yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to get there, I'm like, okay, then you know what? It's time to do what's best for you and your family.
Absolutely. Got to secure the bag there when, you have only so many years of being a professional athlete. Not all of us can be Jaromir Jagr and Gordie Howe. We can play until we're 100. Second big question with veteran player movement. We see guys switch teams in the offseason all the time, whether it's when that's going from an AHL contract to a two-way NHL deal or a one-way NHL deal. There's no mystery there. I mean, Andrew Podorowski signs a one-way deal this offseason. You, as the GM of the Wolves, not offer him a one-way NHL deal. It makes sense that, that's why you see guys like that make moves. But then there are a lot of times where you see like a player just basically take another AHL contract in a different team, and then the next offseason does the same thing, goes from team to team to team, even though they're quality performers. I mean, we saw this from guys like Daniel Carr, TJ Tynan, Chris Terry. Do you have any insights as to why guys, don't end up staying with teams when they've had success on that team? And at least as far as we can tell, they're not like a bad teammate or a pain in the ass in the locker room?
No, there's a couple factors on that. The NHL team is not willing to pay him that kind of money anymore. They thought they were going to be a prospect and maybe be that call-up guy, and they end up not being that call-up guy. So they'll try their luck with another veteran. The NHL team will put him in the American League, and hopefully he'll be their depth guy to call up. But the other part is, they're chasing opportunity. You mentioned a couple guys that I know for a fact they're chasing opportunity. They look at the teams that are offering them contracts, and they're going where there's more opportunity. They're still living the dream of playing in the NHL. As long as the money is relatively close, they're going to go to where the best opportunity to play in the NHL. They're making good money in the American Hockey League anyway around it, but it's a chance to play in the NHL. And that's, I think, again, almost everybody in the American Hockey League, their dream is to play in the NHL. So they're trying to set them. They have the ability, because they're free agents, to go to where the best opportunity is for them to maybe break the team. And again, you use Podorowski. He has a chance to make Seattle, and that was the big thing for him. He had another offer from another NHL team on a one-way also, and he chose Seattle because it's the best opportunity for him to play in the NHL. And still going to get the money wherever he's at, but the best opportunity was Seattle for him. I know TJ Tynan. He's the same thing. I've made offers to him, and with the same, like, and I've had TJ, and I love TJ as a person and as a player, but he went to where he sees the best opportunity for him to get some games in the NHL. And I literally matched or offered him more over the last few years, and he's actually ended up in a thing. And TJ lives in Chicago here and everything like that. But I don't hold it against him, because
Oh yeah.
he's going for, he's going to basically make the same amount of money, but he's going to have a better opportunity to get to the NHL. And he can't hold back anybody that still lives the dream and wants to play there and puts in the time and the effort to try to get up there.
I mean, for sure, that was one of the things when we were talking about, like, kind of in our postmortems for teams of, who's coming back and who's not. And it's like, it's going to be interesting to see how many, AHL veterans flock to places like Tucson or Laval, because or Rockford, where it's like their NHL clubs are clearly in maybe don't win games mode. And that usually tends to lend itself to guys getting called up from the roster. And we thought, if there's a shot for you to, play the season in Tucson and get a call from the Coyotes just because, well, why not see what this guy can offer us at the NHL level? I was surprised to not see just that big wave of guys kind of going there looking to do exactly that. But, their calculus on how to get to the show is probably a little bit different than mine, having never played hockey in a way that would even end me with a hockey DB page. So I can respect that.
Well, a few of it, like a little bit of it, is they might not want to bring in too many veterans, the NHL team, onto the American League team, for they want to develop all their young guys, few select veterans, and maybe some of the guys might not have got the offer. That's what happens sometimes. It's not like everyone's flocking to Tucson because they think Phoenix is bad. They want to play on a team that wins also. That's a part of it too. So, that all, like, there's a lot of factors that plays into, and you see it in the NHL, free agency, not just the American Hockey League, but in free agency in the NHL. Like, there's a lot of factors. Like, you see guys sitting back and they'll say, it was what's best for my family. I had a better deal somewhere else, but this was the perfect fit. I thought this was the best fit. And it happens in the American Hockey League also. Like, what's the best fit for to make the NHL, to be on a good team, and what's best for, his family and his future.